Hello, I'm Matthew Malcolm with Pacific Nut Producer Magazine, reporting to you from the annual Grape, Nut, and Tree Fruit Expo here today at the Big Fresno Fairgrounds. One of our featured speakers today was Gurreet Brar from Fresno State University, a plant physiologist, and he works on pistachios there at Fresno State, formerly with the UC Cooperative Extension. We're happy to have him here today. He talked about chill hours when it comes to pistachios. That's something that's critical for the success and good yields of a pistachio crop. And unfortunately, that's something that, we don't have control over the weather and how things go that far. But there are some things we can do to improve that so that we can have good yields. So what did you talk about today with that regard?
Yeah, Matthew, I talked about the understanding of the chill accumulation in pistachios, and then are there any ways to manage chill accumulation? The research that we are currently doing in our lab, we started some research both in lab and field 2 years ago, and I had a new project that started this year, so we have 1 year data. So my presentation was kind of an educational presentation. We do not have any recommendations at this point because it's going to be a long-term study, but we do know that we have some opportunities in exploring some chemical agents like oil and some other plant growth regulators like gibberellic acid or athifon and some more in order to compensate for chill accumulation if we get a really low chill year. So we are actually working to see which candidate compounds we have and which we can actually work on further to maybe get registered down the line. So that's what the project is about.
So when would you apply some of these products? Are we having problems in the front end of the winter or the tail end of the winter?
That's a very interesting question. Right now, everybody is concerned about the tail end of the winter. So we started this project with tail end of the winter in mind. When the dormancy completion happens naturally by mid-February, then we have a month of quiescence, which is the eco-dormancy, where we accumulate heat. But the interesting thing is that the first beginning end of where we are right now, that's also very critical. So we have not started touching that yet. So that might be an option to study later on. But at this time, what my study reveals is during the tail end of the winter, oil usually helps in constricting the bloom or even advancing the bloom window for a few days if it's a good chill year, or even if it's a marginal chill year. In a low chill year, though, if you apply oil, typically less than 50 chill portions accumulation, oil has not worked as well. So that's the first year study that shows us. But we need more data to actually make some recommendations. But that's where we are.
Right. Well, thank you for the initial information. We look forward to hearing more about that in the future. In Pacific Nut Producer Magazine, I'm Matthew Malcolm, CaliforniaAgNet.com.